Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I love it. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the ultimate manifestation hack. It is going to blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. Are you ready for it? And this is something that I learned only when I first started my business. I learned this, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But the ultimate hack that completely changed my life when I started my business. And this is for anything, anything and everything. It's so weird. There's like a bird up there just like staring at me. It's not about doing, it's about being. It's not about doing, it's about being. So, you know, when you're trying to manifest something, you have to be the vibration of that of which you're trying to attract. So being is attuning your frequency to match that of which you're vibrating, that of which you're a vibration of. I really stuffed that up. I wrote it down. I didn't want to look at it, but I have to. So being is attuning the frequency to match the vibration of that of which you desire, right? So in order for you to attract that of which you want to attract, you have to be in the vibrational match of that thing. That's being. So being is attuning your frequency to match that same vibration. So now I want you to imagine, and I wish I'd thought of this, but I saw it somewhere, I watched it somewhere else. But imagine 10 minutes ago, you had manifested, or you received your manifestation. So just imagine 10 minutes ago, you received your manifestation. Maybe it was money, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a house, maybe it was a car, like whatever. But just imagine 10 minutes ago, you received that thing you manifested. Now, like how does it feel? How does it look? More importantly, how does it look? So my point is, let's just say that someone had someone had won, or they could have manifested $1 million. 10 minutes ago, they won $1 million. How freaking sick. 10 minutes ago, they won $1 million. But just imagine that they're really unhappy. I should have said this before I said that. So imagine that this guy, he's really unhappy. He's really unhappy with himself, right? He's just unhappy with himself. Maybe he's self-conscious, whatever. 10 minutes ago, he manifested, or he won $1 million. Externally, nothing changes. Like externally, absolutely nothing changes. The only thing is that, yeah, he won $1 million. But when you think of it, like, nothing really changes. In that moment, 10 minutes ago, when he won $1 million, he's still in the same room. He's still wearing the same clothes. He's still doing the same thing. And maybe he'll be jumping up and down. Maybe he'll be crying of, happiness, whatever. But physically, nothing's changed. In his outer reality, nothing's changed. Now, because he's incredibly unhappy, his happiness is a very temporary thing. So because he's internally unhappy, yeah, he might buy material things, but it doesn't last because internally he's still unhappy. To the core, he's unhappy. So he will continually be unhappy. So nothing has really changed, right? So because he's so unhappy, yes, he's won $1 million, but ultimately nothing has changed in his life. So my point is, it's all about the inner reality, not the outer reality. And the inner reality is being. So for you 10 minutes ago, you received your manifestation. When you think of it, your outer reality is still the same. Let's say you manifested money, your outer reality is still the same 10 minutes ago. Like, nothing has really changed. Sorry. Nothing has really changed. So my point is that because we're so dependent on looking for the result in our outer reality, but in actual fact, when we receive our manifestation, nothing changes. So it's all about internally. In order for us to be, it's all internal work. You can win $1 million, but realistically, nothing is going to change. Internally, he's still unhappy. Externally, nothing's changed. Does that make sense? That's what I was trying to get with it. So it's not about the outer feeling, it's about the inner feeling. And being is all about truly being from the inside. Being the version of you that has your manifestation. And so, it's about being, not doing. So being the version of you that has your manifestation rather than doing. And so you could be doing all of this work, but if you're not being internally, then the results are not going to change. Does that make sense? You could do something for so freaking long, and this is exactly what happened to my business. This is what I'm getting to. So when I started my business, I was like, I fed into a lot of what the coaches were saying online, because I was like, I have no freaking clue what I'm doing, and which is like a belief in itself, but I got so caught up with listening to what people were saying online, like business coaches, and they were saying you have to do this, this, and this. And so for the very start of my business, I was doing all of these things. And I was constantly working so hard, but I wasn't being. And because I wasn't being, I was doing all this stuff, but I was attracting more doing. Does that make sense? Like, because I wasn't being the version of me, I was ultimately just repeating the cycle of doing, and doing everything that I was doing. I was really attracting more of the doing rather than just being the version of me that already has a successful business, rather than doing everything that I need to do to get my business to where I wanted to be, which just means ultimately that I'm attracting more of the doing. So that's why it's the moment that I had realized that, I was like, holy shit, I'm manifesting more of the doing. Like, I was psyching myself out. I was doing so much, and then I was attracting more of the doing. So does that make sense? I hope that kind of makes sense. And so for that period of time that I was like, you know, posting like 5 times, or it was like a couple of times a day, I had to do this, I had to do that. So I was attracting more of having to do this and having to do that. And then when I realized that I was very much in doing mode and not being mode, I was like, holy shit, I am like attracting more of the things I don't want. Because ultimately I don't want to just be doing, because how tiring would that be? Again, that's in your masculine energy. I don't want to do that. That's stressful. I might as well stick to my 9-to-5 job. So for me to stop doing, I needed to be. And so being was the ultimate key to running a successful business, because I was being the version of me that was running a business. I was being an entrepreneur, or I was being the version of me who made YouTube videos rather than just doing and feeling like I had to do it, but where that creates more of the doing, which is like resistance and everything, rather than just being and feeling into being the version of me that, you know, being the me that's an entrepreneur that just makes YouTube videos. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope everything has resonated. this was so pivotal. And like I said, with my business, when I'd found out the difference between being and doing, it was like life-changing in that moment. So if you're in a position, or if you're feeling like you're doing and you're not being, then where do you need to stop doing and start being? So it could be in a relationship. Maybe you're trying to get with a guy, like maybe it's a specific guy that you really like, and you're, you know, messaging him 24/7, like, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. Maybe you're doing all the work, right? Like you're doing so much in the relationship. You're messaging him, you're wanting to catch up, you're doing everything, he's doing nothing. Well, then you're creating more of the doing, you're attracting that. And that is the outcome you're going to get, which is more doing rather than just being, where if you just allow yourself to be in that relationship and just feel, like, sit with how it feels and just be that version of you that already has that relationship, then you don't need to be doing all these things, because he will obviously, you know, he will just be, because he's, you know, you're being the version of you, so he will be the version of him because you're being the version of you. Does that make sense? And it's because what we attract what we're a vibrational match for. So if you're feeling like you need to message him all the time, then that's the vibration, the frequency you're putting out to the universe. So that's what you're attracting. That's what you're attracting more so. But if you just be in that relationship, just be in that freaking relationship, you're pushing that out, and he will come back. Trust me, it'll come back. He will change. The result I've seen with guys specifically, like I used to just be this magnetic freaking person. I used to just sit in that feeling of just being so magnetic. Like guys just find me attractive. Guys just want to like talk to me all the time. Wow, the results are freaking crazy. Like, it's insane the way that when you're attuning your vibration, your frequency to being that version, the results come back almost instantly, because the universe just gives you what you want, what you're vibrating at. And so being in that frequency of just being that version, being you in that relationship, being you in that business, just being an entrepreneur rather than doing, it's a completely different vibrational state. So I hope this has helped. I hope the 10-minute thing kind of helped you feel in the state of being, because remember, the state of being is ultimately all from within. We get so caught up of looking externally and wanting the results externally. But when you think about it, when someone does win like $1 million, like in that moment, really nothing changes. Absolutely nothing changes. So we have gone about life completely wrong. Like we get taught all these back to front type of things. It's insane. And it's because if we all knew how life was meant to be lived, if we all knew about the law of attraction, about, you know, this quantum field, quantum physics, then people wouldn't be able to have control over us. You know, people wouldn't be able to let us live in fear, not let us do the things, you know, that we're so freaking capable of doing. So I hope this video has helped. If anything in particular resonated with you, let me know. I want you to comment below. Being, not doing. Being, not doing. Because ultimately the version of you want to be, you don't want to do, you want to be. So I hope this video has helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.